Your sister seems really closest person to you at this moment. I guess if emotionally, you got a lot of memories of her.
I actually keep her on my chain
Yeah, I
currently
was
all
going
the
to ask.
time.
I was going to ask.
Yeah. So
Is that your sister?
yes, on my chain, yes. She helped me build this persona of myself. Always made sure I was well kept, made sure my hair was done, made sure I had the best outfits, everything pertaining to that. It was like I was her sister and her child. If that actually got the opportunity to capture majority of my childhood on camera, my dad was always recording me on VHS, yeah. So I'm able to see that even up to today, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. My mom decided that, she didn't want to make any decision for me. She wanted me to make my own decision. So when things got serious, she was like, I don't want to overwhelm her, even though she's enjoying it. I don't want her to grow up and think, this wasn't really for me. So she gave me that time to still be a kid and then decide in the future. So at around 6, I knew I wanted to do it, but I'm glad she gave me that opportunity to still be a kid, 6th grade, my first ever talent show at my school.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I sang and I did my own dance choreography. And that was the moment when everyone stood up and clapped for me. I was like, if I could do this full time, I would love to. This is amazing to just do exactly what I love to do and see all my friends just stand up and applaud me for something that I didn't view in that way. I had a lot of anxiety during the pandemic and a lot of anxiety during my California years, being in the academy, just because it was a big change so fast at such a different point in my life. So I've definitely worked through that, and now I've realized that there are ways to cope and help with it. One being tapping into my nostalgic feelings more, just to remind me, like, you can still be a kid on your own. Just you can have those moments where you could be silly and everything doesn't have to be serious. I'd like to say to not give up and don't compare yourself to anyone else. I've had faults of that so many times. Everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own journey.
Today I have with me a wonderful, beautiful artist from New York City. Her name is Khalilah Daye, and she is up early morning. That's not her regular schedule, but we decided to do this. And welcome to the show, Khalilah.
Yes, nice to meet you again, AJ. This has been a pleasure so far, and I'm excited to tell you about me.
Great. So we decided to do a love story as we had a discussion. We might change that at this moment, but we decided to do a love story. And after that, we thought, like, why don't we have conversation about how the journey of Khalilah Daye is going at this moment as an artist? And hey, I have an Indian accent. Her name is Khalilah Daye, so I'm trying my best to put it out in a proper way. In case I miss, she will recorrect me whenever I miss it. But and a big thanks to Sherwin Excel. I guess Sherwin and she are working together in a movie project, which is, I guess, it's done or not?
It's
The
not
filming is
finished
done.
yet, no.
Okay,
The
okay, okay.
filming
So
is complete, but right now we're just in the editing process, trying to finish up everything, yeah.
she, these both guys are working together. So Sherwin is like, hey, I know some guy, and he was actually in an event. I guess I was hearing loud noises when he messaged me from your messenger, and he was like, hey, her name, she has a laptop, she has a microphone, and she's interested, she has done a good job, and she's really great artist, you should get her on the show and do something, collaborate. And that's it. Okay, I was like, okay, I'll contact her, I contacted her. It was 12 a.m in the morning for her. I messaged her like, hey, it's all good, you take your time and then decide when you want to do it, and then today is the date we are going to do it. So how's the weather in New York? What's going on in New York?
It's actually finally becoming summer. It took a minute to graze in, but now it's finally getting the temperature that I enjoy. I enjoy the
Mm-hmm.
heat. So
Oh,
it's, yeah. I know
summertime.
and most people are saying that summer's almost over, but to me it feels
Oh,
like it's just beginning because of the weather. So time
okay.
moves a little stranger here because everyone's getting ready for school. August is
Mm-hmm.
today. So
Today,
August
yeah,
into
first of August.
September, everyone's like, "Oh, summer's ending." I'm thinking it's just beginning because of the weather. So
Okay, awesome. So how's the air condition now? Is it good? Like last couple of days, it was too bad. Like in the news,
it's
I'm here.
it's been a lot better with the Canada fires back in June, July. It really messed with the air quality, but now things have been a lot better. Way better.
Awesome. Yeah, I know a few of artists from New York City, And the moment I heard the news, I quickly messaged them, "Hey, what's going on? Are you good? Are you good?" And it was like that. The day was completely different. The whole weather was completely different. You guys, like, it was in terrible mode at that point.
And you
But
could
yep,
barely see anything with the fog
yeah,
and the smoke. It was ridiculous.
yep. So, how's your life going as an artist at this moment? Any films, any projects at this moment? Are you come? What's the schedule for today?
I am mainly focused on The Last B-Boy right now, which is the movie me and Sherwin are in. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of promotional projects we have going on. I've
Okay.
been attending a lot of networking events, and I'm doing a few auditions for new projects, but nothing's
Okay.
completely solidified yet. And then I have a play coming up in November, and I'm going to start back rehearsals for that coming up very soon. So,
Awesome. So look, what we are going to do now is we are going to talk more about your journey. But before we start about it, I and the listeners would like to know more about you. You as a kid, your childhood days. Take us back to you as a kid, as a 6 year old, 7 year old. Playing around, enjoying your life. How were you as a kid, and the schooling phase and the growing up phase? Please tell us about.
mhm. Okay, so I was a very happy kid. I always kept a smile on my face, always moving
Okay.
around, and
Mhm.
I was always around my family at a young age.
Okay.
I never saw any disperse or any separation. Everyone was always together, family reunions, a lot of play dates with my cousins,
Wow.
my sister and brother. We were very close,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually got the opportunity to capture majority of my childhood on camera. My dad was always recording me
Wow.
on VHS. Yeah, so I'm able to
That's
see that
good.
even up to today, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah, so
Okay. Awesome. So, kind of good childhood you had.
mhm.
Lots of memories. Tell me about your mom and dad. What kind of relation you have with them at this moment? Like, is it good? Has it changed now a bit? What's the thing?
Over the years, there's been some separation in family. We all grow, things
Yep.
change, and I've actually had a lot of unfortunate passings in my family. So,
Oh,
pertaining to my sister and uncles, situations like
yeah.
that. So, it's caused things to change, going from everyone being together to some
Yeah.
separations. So, with my father, we always keep in touch. Things are always great with us. He's still the same funny. I get my
Awesome.
jokes from him. And my mom, she's always supportive, always there for me. If I have an audition, she'd be able to come with me, situations like
Okay.
that. She's always there. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Some tough part, very hard part, but yeah, they are with you and supporting you uh,
Definitely.
now in your career. So, here's the thing: how were you as a kid in school? In a school, were you studious? Were you like messy, or were you shy, quiet? How were you?
I actually transitioned a lot from being pretty much all of those things. Uh,
Oh,
when I was very, very young, I was always trying to make new friends. I felt like
mm,
school for me was more of get to recess, just get to recess so you can make new friends.
wow,
I enjoyed class. I loved
yeah,
learning
yeah,
new things, but seeing all of these people I was surrounded with, I knew there was some way to connect with them, even at a very young
mm,
age. So
yeah.
I really loved recess. And then um,
Wow.
there were a couple years where I actually spent time in Springfield, Massachusetts with my aunt, for about 4 years of my life, so that
Mm-hmm.
taught me more of the studious, strategic ways of things, like folding your hands at the desk, the more
Mm-hmm.
disciplined way of learning and being in school, so it was because I went to a charter school, so strict
Okay.
uniforms and, everything changed. So, when I transferred back to New York in the same exact
Mm-hmm.
school, it
Mm-hmm.
was interesting to taper myself back into the way I used to be at an older
Mm-hmm.
age, and it
Okay.
actually caused me to be more outspoken because now I felt like I missed part of New York being in
Oh,
Massachusetts. So, yeah, at
okay.
lunch, I would always try to, like, be the class clown because I didn't wanna get in trouble in class. So,
Oh,
at lunch, I'd be the real loud, like, "Oh, you
yeah,
wanna get
yeah,
your lunch?
yeah.
I wanna go outside," and yeah, so
Wow, wow.
I've definitely transitioned a lot, and then high school and college was more of
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting older, more mature, I can't
Mm.
be as silly as
Quiet.
I used to be, but I can still be me. So I've learned
Okay.
to change, yeah, in a good way.
Awesome. So you being an extrovert, I guess,
Mhm,
during that recess period, I guess that extrovertness helped you as an artist uh,
definitely.
a lot. Just performing out there, just going out and doing your job. Is that one thing that you count in as an artist?
Definitely. Even that, and then going as far back to my childhood, around 5 or 6, I was singing and dancing,
Yeah.
and yeah, just always keeping busy. My mom would
Mm.
always play music in the living room really loud, so I would learn all the songs, and then I took
Wow.
that into when I went into middle school and elementary school, I'd do the same thing. I'd learn a dance or a step and just go and perform. And I never viewed it as a performance. I viewed it as me just entertaining everybody.
Yeah,
So,
I guess one thing I can get from you is your parent being very cool. Your parent, like your dad, filming you out, your mom playing music, in the background, you learning the song. That whole period, that whole atmosphere gathered in you, and then when you now go out and perform as an artist, it's not a thing for you. It's like you enjoy it, you enjoy doing it. That whole thing, I guess, came from the family environment, the
yeah.
environment that you had as a kid. So
Hmm.
I guess that's the one thing I can see it happening, because you were not doing a dance as a job, or like initially as a kid you were like, hey, go out there, just move your legs, hands, and just
That's
do
it. Just
do
move.
yeah, yeah, just
Exactly.
move and just enjoy. And that's where I guess singing came into a part,
Yeah.
because that whole nurturing thing indirectly happened, that got imbibed in you. And that's how you this is how you turned into an artist. The extrovertness that the family environment also like helped you a lot, in becoming what you are at this moment, taking out,
Hmm.
being there, being brave, and not thinking a lot about what would happen, but just enjoying,
Yes.
just see and then figure out what happens and whatnot. So yeah, this helps me a lot to figure you out as an artist. And okay, great, great, great. Thank you for sharing that particular
Of
thing about
course.
your childhood and all.
Hmm.
So now I came to know about your school period. For you it was just like, hey, enjoy it. Recess, it's recess, just pour all your energy in the recess and just get it out, and then you
Yeah.
can be quiet in the classes.
Hmm.
Do you remember the first day, the moment, that the period or that particular phase where you decided, no, I want to do this for my entire life, or I want to try this out for my entire life, like for this particular period as a career? You
Yes.
decided, no, I am going to be an artist. Can you recall the moment?
I actually have two different moments. So when I
Okay.
was really young, around 6, as I've stated, my mom and dad actually put me in an acting school called John Robert Powers in
Okay.
New Jersey, and I didn't take too many classes. It was a bit of a journey for us when we were, in that time
Hmm.
period, because it would be like they would just get out of work. It would be, I think, like a Friday or Thursday, and they would drive me all the way
Okay.
to the classes. So I learned the etiquette, I learned things like that. So it was nice. They saw I was comfortable in it, but my mom decided that, she didn't want to make any decision for me. She wanted me to make my own decision. So when things got a little
Hmm.
serious, she was like, I don't want to overwhelm her, even though she's enjoying it. I don't want her to grow up and think, this wasn't really for me. So she gave me
Ah,
that
yeah, yeah.
time to still be a kid and then decide in the future. So at around 6, I knew I wanted to do it, but I'm
Oh,
glad she gave me that opportunity to still be a kid.
yeah,
So
yeah. That was good.
exactly. So when I was around, I'd say it was about 6th grade. I
Hmm.
did my first ever talent show at my
Okay.
school, and
Okay.
I sang and I did my own dance choreography.
Hmm.
And that was the moment when everyone stood up and clapped for me. I was like, if I could do
Wow.
this full time, I would love to. This is
Wow. Wow.
amazing to just do exactly what I love to do and see all my
Hmm.
friends just stand up and applaud me for something that I didn't view in that way, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then looking at home on the screens and seeing the same thing and seeing people, you know, inspire so many people across the
Yeah.
world and not just in a school, in an auditorium,
Hmm.
I wondered
Hmm.
how I could transition into that.
Yeah,
So
that perfect
from
transition.
middle school to high school, I knew I wanted to study that in college, nothing
Yeah.
else. So that
Hmm.
was my main focus, was getting back to California and just, you know,
Just kidding. Yeah.
yeah, studying and being the actress that I want to be. So
Awesome, awesome. So it started as a kid, and you actually crafted, and what do we say? You can blueprinted it. You did it very in proper way. Okay, I'm serious about it. So the self observation was very good inside you. You were like, quite okay. This is working for me, and this is where I want to be, and these are the things I'm really interested in, and I'd like to study it out more. Not just going, just as a fluke by chance. Hey, this is good. People are liking me, and not. No, you actually decided, no, I'm going to study about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it a proper way, and I'm going
mhm,
to invest a proper time in this field, and then I'm going to see what will happen. So
yes,
yep, this is a very, very classic way of doing it, and I'm really happy that you actually gave that a thought. Like, okay, 6 was good, but my mom told me to be a kid and just enjoy that phase, and then you slowly, slowly crafted it out in a very proper way. So it always built you and didn't break you. In parts like, okay, someone rejected and all that thing, but you know, like, you wanted a big career out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
got it. Got it. So now we jump on your training period. The American Academy of Dramatic Arts provided you with a strong foundation in acting and other skills. Okay, so how do you think this education contributed to your today's success in, doing plays and films and being on the set? So how the whole training period is helping you out in today's period?
It was a 2-year conservatory, so the first year
Hmm.
was more of the basics of everything. So I learned how to just acting is reacting was the main
Yeah.
thing that I took from everything. Acting is you
Hmm.
being yourself in that moment as
Hmm.
someone else. You will still have to be you because you're a human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everyone is human. So that taught me that in a way because I realized when I was acting on my own, just doing it for fun, I was so natural. And then as soon as I
Mm.
got into the school and I had to do auditions and things like that, I felt
Yeah.
myself being robotic, just kind
Oh.
of trying to do it for them and not for me. So
Hmm.
over about a month or two, and I started getting comfortable, I'm like, no, this is still what I do. I'm just
Yeah.
now being tested on it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is viewing me. This is a new environment, new people.
Mm.
I'm in a whole different state. Um, and it was amazing just to be in California training for what I wanted to do. So the teachers were very helpful. I had a teacher named Miss Hensel. She is actually a cast member on Young and the Restless. Um,
Awesome.
I had another teacher named Mr. Karangi, and he's
Hmm.
in Superstore, I believe that's the name of
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
so there were a lot of people who were in the business already, who were taking time
Uh,
out from their business to come and still
Mainstream
help
media.
us. Exactly, so that
Yeah.
was really, really amazing, and I also
Awesome.
realized that I'm a physical comedian.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd see well, it's something that I knew, but to actually, hear that from a teacher and from my peers,
Hmm.
it made me realize, like, "Oh, I can actually do this. Maybe I'm not a stand-up
Yeah.
comedian, but if I do something that's funny, people will laugh," you know?
Yeah.
So, it was really interesting, and, I tapped more into my dramatic side. I
Hmm.
learned the basics of, the emotional factors of how to tap into something from your past and then,
Hmm.
bringing it into that character. So
Okay. Okay.
it helped me a lot.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
This looks great. Like, first thing I didn't like about is that you're like, hey, I want to do my thing, but these guys are not doing what I want to do. I'm getting put into cage where I don't even relate to that person. That particular audition script I have to do, and you felt like robotic. But
Yeah.
that's the part that you didn't know, I guess, in the starting phase. As a dramatic part, the character may be different and you may be different, but
Yeah.
your job as an actor is to get into that part and portray that. So that's the
Exactly.
one thing that you learn on the first day, I guess, first part of your audition. In the
Yeah.
training period, you told about like two guys from mainstream TV media or
Mhm.
entertainment were actually teaching you. So you were actually getting more insights, how to perform and all. And
Yes.
you being as a physical comedy was like the impromptu thing that was your, what we can say, the skill, not skill, what we can say is, that's the one thing that you got covered. you know
Yes. Mhm.
that is you doing physical comedy, being up at the moment, just bursting out, making people laugh. That's you. But the one part you learned is being dramatic, being, doing the drama part, which is
Mhm.
getting into character, the dark side of human, getting
Yes.
into the gray shades and the dark part. That's the one thing I guess you learn a lot from that academy. And
Mhm.
I guess that is helping you a lot at this moment, being on the sets and all. Because I guess you are doing more of intense drama films and less of comedy films, I guess, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, which is yeah, it's kind of hard nowadays to find comedic work, which is
Mm.
interesting. From every time I look, I always see dramatic or just something
Mhm.
really intense, which I enjoy. They have
Mhm.
very interesting stories behind it, but I know my comfortability is
Yeah.
comedy. So I hope, I don't, fall into the dramatic realm and I do get
Yeah.
to go back and forth between comedy and drama. So, yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Got it. Got it. You will get, but in time, this is just learning period. You can see, you're getting
definitely.
more experienced in being, which is not your core part as an artist. You will make it as a core, like with this films and all, and
Yeah.
practicing out, being on the set. Okay. Okay. This was good. Now here's the part. First of all, congratulations on landing the role of Detective Raymond in Not Like the Other Girls.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the other part is, how was it, the experience moving from small classrooms to a film set now, where we, being in the one, like 4 by 4, or I don't know what the closed set, we can say, the
Yeah.
indoors,
Hmm.
and then going into actual film set, lots of things happening, 20 people moving, 10 people moving their things, adjusting part, the director is doing something, 10 people are wasting their time, and then 2 or 5 people just managing to be there in the moment, and you are also there. So how
Yeah.
was the experience?
It was very different. It was immensely different. The beautiful thing about the academy was that they taught me both stage and film presence.
Hmm.
So that was something that I was able to manage when it came to graduating from the school. So when I did get to the point where I was playing Detective Raymond, I already
Hmm.
had this sense of comfortability. It was just now it was real. This wasn't for a
Okay.
class. This wasn't for my teacher. This was for myself. And I'm here
Okay.
representing me. So I at least I had already learned the etiquette and the
Hmm.
terminologies. So when I hear striking, which is like, turning on the different lights that they provide,
Yeah. Yeah.
different things like that, or hold for sound, I know I must be quiet. So there's certain
Mm.
etiquettes that I've learned, and it
Yeah.
helped me seem like such a professional as if I've already done so many films when that was my first official professional one.
Wow.
So that
That's
was
that's
amazing.
good.
And it left an
That's good.
amazing relationship with the director and,
Hmm.
the lead actress in the film. So, it was
Cool.
amazing to already make that rapport because of my
Yeah.
professionalism on set, which
Hmm.
is great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds good. You got used to the basics of being on the set. That helped you
Yes.
not getting distracted actually. So
Mhm.
you are in that moment, you are not losing your focus, because
Yeah.
it may cost a lot to the directors and the makers. Hey, why are you
Mhm.
moving your eyes? Just yeah.
Exactly. Mhm.
Hey, stay focus, focus. This is like, that is actual different kind of, what we say, exercise, which you get used to, and that only comes being or practicing and observing and making, like, fitting it in your brain. Hey, I don't know how to move. This is a part of the business. This is part of
Yeah.
the set. So that's really good part of you. As an artist, you get adapted. You adapt the situation very a good way. Once you saw it, I guess you don't need 2 or 3 times. You just need one time. You observe it, and yeah, I got it. That's you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So your portrayal of Moe in Happy Anniversary was like kind of well received, as you tell me. Tell us about that project, and how did you approach preparing for the character of Moe, and what kind of impact it had on you as an artist, like the preparation phase of you, how the character Moe um, developed you as an actor in that whole preparing phase.
Right. So, that was my first play I ever put on outside of the academy as well. So
Hmm.
it was a very interesting process. I use Backstage as my way or source of finding work. So I
Okay.
actually found the director through there, and she was very friendly to me. We did a direct Zoom audition, and that was very straightforward. And she realized she enjoyed my work, and we moved forward from there. The production was actually done in Harlem, which is quite of a
Okay.
journey for me. It's a whole different borough. So taking the trains there at certain times of night was really different for me, but I said this
Oh,
is the life of a working actress. I'm
yeah.
going to have to travel to different boroughs, different states,
Mm.
and that's just the way it goes. So that was a huge and amazing experience. And then the role that I played was also a cop. So,
Oh,
well, a detective. So I was able to take what I had already studied and built from Detective Raymond
yeah.
into the role of
It.
Mo, and now make
Mm-hmm.
her have more layers, just add on to her and help her relate to the rest of the characters in the play. And now going from I feel like film and plays are totally different. I
Different.
enjoy
Yep.
both of them.
Mm.
Originally, I was all about films because I wanted my family and everyone to be able to see me whenever, and I thought
Yeah.
that was the easiest way. But
Yeah.
now, after doing a few plays, I realized, no,
This
this
is
is
it.
amazing. It's just like going
Yeah.
back to being on stage at my talent shows that I
Mm.
used to do. So doing that, and that was a one night
Fulfillment.
only play. Yes, both
Yeah.
filming and stage. So, um, with the play, it was a one night only play. So
Hmm.
I had to make sure whatever I did was left on the stage, just give it my
Okay.
all. And I
Hmm.
only had one scene at the time, which was fantastic because it was me demonstrating who I am, and
Hmm.
everyone seeing who I am in a minimal amount
Good.
of time. I enjoyed that. So I was able to cry on command because I sat there
Wow.
and I actually listened to my scene partner. And that was amazing for me. Just actually
Wow.
taking it in, and it helped me realize when you actually listen and feel out what the other person is
Mhm.
saying, you can create a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scene. So that was
God,
that was
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
Well, I can, I can feel it. I can relate to being in theater, being in on a film set. I can relate to the thought of taking trains, because theater are completely different on the related. Like some people are doing it, and you have to be there. So this is a particular period where whole people gather. That whole journey is different, and then your experience, because film is director's medium. They are going to turn off light, do some things, doing in a closed mediums, and
Yeah.
sometimes in on a green screen and all the things. But theater is where you as an artist get fulfillment of being an artist, like
Mm,
actor get fulfillment of, hey, I can express myself, and this is where only I can do stuff and people can see it happening. Films is
yeah.
where lots of things are happening and actor is in that particular, just being a part of that whole thing. So that's
Yeah.
where audience get entertained. Theater is
Mhm.
where actor has to do everything, and
Yeah.
then it all depends on the actor who's performing, how audience
Mm,
is going to react. So that's where you can get your pro game, that A game that you have. You can become a pro there, and you are just expressing yourself. And the moment you said about crying, yeah, completely. Like you can. This is kind of field where you test yourself in different roles, and you can then bring that thing, keep it in yourself, and then you can get it on the film set. You
mhm.
can become more. So that's the one thing, I guess, you got improved. And I guess you want to do more theater, uh, as as a side if you get time, and films as you get it.
Of
So you
course.
can give, yeah, you can get into both mediums with time.
Yes.
Yep. And now, how do you handle criticism or feedback? And for example, sometimes we try our best but we don't know it is going good or bad, because we are in this side of the whole thing. We are
Mhm.
performing, and there's one side where there's director or there's audience who are watching us. They don't know what's going on, but like director has his own mind. Hey, this is going to perform that, but you are doing this. Sometimes we think we are putting our 100%, but it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Like from our side it's 100%, but from
Mhm.
their point of view, they don't know what the hell is happening. Sometimes it goes in that way. And
Definitely.
you think, hey, I was doing right, but why it didn't work?
Mhm.
So that's totally different, because as an artist nobody wants to do bad. Nobody wants
No.
to mess up on the stage in front of 1,000 people, or don't want to mess up on the set in front of a camera where tens of things are happening,
Right.
because we don't do it intentionally. But
Mhm.
sometimes the point of view changes and we think we are going good, but sometimes we are not that matured up as an
Mhm.
artist, and sometimes we need to mature up as an artist. And that's where the whole battle is. So in that phase, how do you manage that criticism, and how do you take the feedbacks, and what's your take on someone thrashing you out, or
Mhm.
not good, or putting you down? How do you take up that?
I handle criticism very well. I know I personally am a very sensitive person sometimes, and things
Artists
do
are
get to me
sensitive.
because that
That's the one thing.
happens.
Some, yeah.
That does happen, but, uh, mm, the academy definitely did help me with that because your
Okay.
teachers are gonna tell it like it is. Your teachers are gonna make sure that
Yeah.
they let you know who you are in that current moment and what you could have improved, everything like that, so and you have to listen to your teachers. You have to. Your
Yeah.
professors, your
Yeah.
teachers, everyone, so, um, that helped me in the real world now, so when a director or someone comes up to me and lets me know, like, "Hey, that was decent, but you could improve this or do that." And even
Mhm,
if I feel
mhm,
like I could have done it, 1,000% better, even if I feel like that was my best, I'll just listen to
mhm.
them, take it in, go home and study it. And that just gives me more
Awesome.
work to do because I feel like even when you are at 100, I try to get to 110. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you can always find ways of
that's
improvement.
that's the challenge you take it. You take it as a
Definitely.
challenge. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
going to make it
Exactly.
like a sportsman, like a sports
Mhm.
person.
Yeah. So
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
took I take it well.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So the point being here is, if you're having a long career, don't break up in the middle. Like, don't like tear yourself apart. Just take it as you need to improve. Improving is the real goal here. Like improving yourself throughout your life is the real goal, rather than judging yourself on one single project. So that's
Yes.
that's not the whole thing and the whole point here. So if you go up with that attitude every single day on the sets or theaters anywhere, then things will be very perfect for you. Okay, this is just a day. this is just a day where I did good. This is just a day where I did bad. So this will help everyone, who's listening out there. As an artist,
Yes.
this will help everyone. So yeah, I guess. And I was going to talk on one more point. I guess I missed out, but
Okay.
yeah, I missed out. So we'll skip
It's
it.
okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
So okay, we focus on, yeah. Now, any particular genre or any particular type of character you enjoy portraying the most. Now, from your conversation, I think you like detective and more part of that detective or a officer, but that was just you got it. Now, tell me yours.
Uh-huh. Right. So I feel like I've learned over the time of looking and searching for work that it really depends on your headshots. So when I first took my headshots, I pretty much looked how I look now with my hair up and like a black
Mm-hmm.
shirt. So I give off more of a mysterious, reserved, in my eyes, to people. So that's how I ended up with the detective roles. But me
Yeah.
personally, I aim to be like leading lady, comedy, fun. I want to be me in a different character. So,
No, 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 no. The question
oh,
is
okay.
genre. What genre
Oh, okay. Yeah,
or
definitely comedy.
comedy you want?
Yes.
The comedy is the best all time. You're saying
Yes.
like
Comedy. I don't mind
any
drama, but I definitely want to do more comedy. I like the lighthearted bit of things.
Okay, and now tell me in comedy what kind of character you would want to play. Like what type of character in comedy you would like to
Mm, I would say more of like the quirky one.
play.
So like
Okay.
the person who trips over everything or the person who has a crush on somebody but would never tell them because they
Oh,
think that they're out of their league, like something like that.
okay.
Yeah,
Awesome,
definitely.
awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. Also, someone like with lots of flaws, and because that creates a good character, a good amount of
Definitely.
comedy on stage.
The
Like
underdog.
something, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
Something like
underdog.
Brooklyn 99, if we can say.
Yeah.
Uh, you have you watched Brooklyn 99?
Here and there. I've
Okay, okay.
watched more of the older classics like The Office or
Office.
Friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Friends.
Yeah.
So which is your favorite character? Like any your favorite comedy character?
Mhm. For The Office, hands down, Michael Scott, the boss, the
Okay,
manager.
awesome.
He's
Yeah.
just like he's himself. He knows the authority that he withholds, but he's still himself
Hmm.
no matter what. So
Yeah.
everyone is comfortable with him throwing random things at them because that's who he
Yeah.
is, and I enjoy that so much about his character. He's so eccentric. And
Mm.
then vice versa for Friends, I actually enjoy Phoebe's character
Yeah.
because she's really quirky and she's
Oh
just all over the
God.
place. She says
Oh
who she
God.
is. I
Phoebe
love
is
her.
like on the next planet. She is
Yes,
from
I
the
love
next
her.
planet. For
Exactly.
being in India, being an Indian, Friends is not the thing that gets aired here. You know,
Okay.
so this really happened after Netflix came to India.
Mhm.
Netflix.in happened, and the whole OTT thing came into play in 2019. After
Right.
that, Friends was very easy to watch. Firstly,
Mhm.
it's being NBC, ABC comedy. Those are not channels being watched here. We watched only Indian content. So when we came to know about Friends and 2019, 18, that period when Netflix, it was top one for 3 years. 2019,
Wow.
20, 21, and that the whole reunion phase happened because it
Mhm.
was in top 1 to 10 for 3 years. So
That's beautiful.
that's great. That's great. So
Yeah.
that's where I came to know about Friends. I learned a lot of things from Friends. I was like, I was just imagine sitting on a bed, laptop on your chest, and every joke, the laptop is just booming up,
Yeah.
up and down. So that was me.
Oh,
That
that's
was
great.
me
Mhm.
enjoying Friends, and Phoebe is like on the next planet. That's why I
Yes, she
completely relate.
is.
Yeah, yeah. And you, like you being in that, aspiring to be that thing, you are going to test a lot on yourself, and I wish you all the best. I want to see
Thank
you in
you.
that particular range in coming years. So you make me laugh like crazy
Yeah.
as a character you play. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Okay, now we move on. Okay, what's your point of view on advantages of having a formal acting training? For example, most of the people on the film set can't even afford to be, take a acting training, properly being trained. Most of them have started like that, just being on the set to next set to next set to next set, just small, 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 and then they land up a big role with period. Most of them can't even afford to be in acting school, still want to be
Right.
actor. They start theaters and all, and then how they learn. Well, what's your point of view on having a formal training before just dreaming of being an actor and just landing up in an audition, rather than going through a training and then landing up in an audition?
Mhm.
What's your point of
So
view?
it helps you realize that your point of view is fantastic, but there's always more information to learn.
Hmm.
So I went into the academy with my own predetermined notions,
Okay.
and yet I still had so much book work to learn, so much to learn from people who are actually in the business, so many people who
Hmm.
have tried and they've realized it wasn't for them. So being in the academy helped me realize that learning helps, but if you have it already, if this is something that you feel like you have enough knowledge on, it's also good
Hmm.
to learn from the sets too, you know? Either
Okay.
way, I feel like it has a huge advantage if you get the formal training, but if you can't afford it, or you
Hmm.
just can't do it that way,
Yeah.
especially in today's society, there's so much access online. You
Yep.
can learn it
Yep.
on your own, and
Totally.
that's even
Yeah.
more of a flex in my opinion. That's more of a
Yeah.
brag. So,
Yeah.
either way, I feel like you'll learn in due
You'll
time,
learn.
but if you could get the training, it always helps.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the
Training
best.
always helps. Yeah, it prepares you in a proper way, where you train it properly, invest your time,
Yeah.
and after you train it, you take notes, you experiment with yourself. Without training, it's also good. At the end of the day, it's like how much time you invest in
Mhm.
preparation. It doesn't matter, like, if you're, yeah, the experts help you a lot, but at the end of the day, it's you versus you. So how you prepare yourself in a proper way will only help you to become a better artist, an actor, actress, whatever you want to be. So that's it. Like, training matters, but self training also matters a lot. Like,
Yes.
that's one thing you can say in that whole thing. Like, self training is much more important than just getting trained, or just you know seeing somewhere else. So that's the one thing we can say and add.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
And I'm still learning
Yeah.
today too, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a lifelong process, I guess. When you hear a 80-year-old actor, 85 year
yes.
old, they're still saying that they survived being 80 on the top. They're still saying, like, "Okay, I'm learning new things today." So just thought of being learning, that this thought of you saying this,
Mhm.
this thought should be carried on till like 80 years.
Yeah.
So it will put you on the top,
Mhm.
and that's where the whole thing of just learning every day. So yeah, great point there. And uh, yeah. So, any funny memories from behind the sets, like behind the scenes, on the sets of the films that you've done? Any funny memory you remember? Anything you remember was very funny or memorable or very emotional for you, from any sets that you've been till date?
Yes. Most recently on The Last B-Boy, I've made so many new friends from just going in.
Wow.
The beautiful thing about film sets is that you have a very short amount of time with them most of the time, because film
Yeah.
sets move at a faster pace. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to just go in there already with the knowledge of like, this is going to be a short time, so let me make as much of a family as I can, because the next time
Yeah.
we'll see each other is maybe during the premiere. So
Mm.
it was great to just go back to who I was when I was little and like be the bubbly fun person that I was,
Yeah.
and just have the freedom to improvise a lot and bring my own personality to this new character and new role that I'm doing. And then with being with the Not Like the Other Girls set, it was more serious and more strategic because of the topics that we were discussing.
Mm-hmm.
And with me being a detective, that was my first time actually handling a weapon. So
Okay. Oh.
yeah, so having that knowledge, and then I actually was able to work with a retired cop, and he
Mm-hmm.
was so helpful and so instructive on how to handle a weapon like it's a real weapon, no matter what. We are
Wow.
cops right now. So it was very
Yeah.
serious. It was a beautiful
Okay.
experience, but it was
Okay.
just very serious. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Any mess up happened? Someone messed up on your set, or you messed up like on time of the call? Can you recall that particular
Oh,
one?
yeah. Yes, definitely. With me being the silly person I am,
Yeah.
I actually have to go up the steps to stop the criminal. So on
Okay.
one of the takes, I accidentally tripped, and almost fell. And I just had to make sure everything was good. And I just stayed in character. I
Oh
was like, no,
shit.
no, I have to
Uh,
be serious.
yeah.
This is serious. Everyone
Okay.
ended up laughing, so it
Mhm.
relieved some of my attention
Okay.
because I realized
Yeah.
sometimes I can be too serious. But it was
Mhm.
hilarious. It was great.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, that's the one thing I was looking to know. You being on the set, sometime we don't mean these things to happen, and they happen.
Hmm.
That's terrible thing. But
Yeah.
we end up laughing. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. If not an artist, what would you've been doing? Like, not even poetry, not even anything related to art. What would you been doing?
I personally, at this very age, would have been a cheerleading coach.
Oh,
Because
coach.
yeah, I
Oh,
was cheerleading from 8th grade all the way until 12th grade.
wow.
So I gained the experience of that. I really loved it. That took my heart. They're
Oh.
really like a second family to me. And after
Mm-hmm.
I graduated high school and they knew I was going to college, they said, when you
Mm.
return back, you could join the cheerleading team
Anytime.
as a coach anytime. So I would
Wow.
definitely be doing that full time. I enjoy the younger ones who were behind us, looking up to us, and now they're all
Mm-hmm.
grown up. So
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
I definitely created a family where if I said, I'll put the artistry to the side, I can still
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate my art, but through
Yeah.
cheerleading. I
So
would I
the
would love to do that.
yeah, but you'd only do what you love,
Yeah.
nothing other than that.
No.
So in case even if you get another chance, you're only going to do what you love. Like you're not going to do anything just for money. You're going to
Mhm.
do only because what you love. Okay, this is sounds good. Like cheerleading, I don't know what. Like we kind of don't have that kind of thing here. So being a
Okay.
coach, I just I just heard of cheerleaders and all. Cheerleading coach is a career. That's good. That's totally good. You can actually training and that sounds good. So I
Mhm.
heard it for first time. So I was
Oh,
surprised.
wow.
What? But that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That I guess that's a culture you have, and that's a
Mhm.
culture. That's why you have a coach also.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay. Is there a particular actor, artist, or anyone who had significant influence on your artistic journey? Like anyone you remember, okay, this guy pulled me out, or any artist, actor, mother, father, or anyone who you remember. Okay, that guy really influenced me to be at a top of my game today also and will in coming time. It also may be a professional actor, like a star also, or like a football player or soccer player or comedian, anyone. Can you tell,
Exactly.
can you share on that?
Yeah. So, um, my sister, before she passed, she was a huge dancer. All she did was
Okay.
dance in her community. She created and formulated her own dance groups,
Hmm.
started in dance competitions. She was background dancers for certain people. And she actually, at my young age, probably about 4 or 5, very young, she allowed me to be a part of her dance group and just express myself in that way. And that impacts me even till today. I always view dance as something that keeps me close to her. So I definitely, she impacted me with that. And then
Hmm.
when I was about in middle school, I did this program where this artist came. His name is Ryan Leslie, and
Hmm.
he's actually today a producer as well. But back
Okay.
when I knew him, I only knew him for certain songs. He's an artist, and he came to my class and he said that the people that were a part of the program get to also write a song and perform it in his studio, and he gets to like personally train them, which was a huge experience. And I still have the CD today, which is, I always keep saying the things that impacted me in my life. So I was able to make a song and do it the following day, and he told me that, keep going, this artistry thing is for you. And that ran with me. That completely ran with me. um yeah, so there were a lot of people, but those two really really withhold something in me.
Your sister seems really closest person to you at this moment. I guess if emotionally, you
Mhm.
got a lot of memories of her. Anything you want to talk about her? How was she and how she impacted you? Like anything you would like to tell about how your sister was?
Yeah, I actually keep her on my chain
Yeah, I
currently
was
all
going
the
to
time.
ask. I was going to ask.
Yeah. So
Is that your sister?
yes. On my chain,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
She always, I'm the youngest out of 3 on my mom's side, so she's the
Mm-hmm.
oldest, and she definitely
Okay.
acted like the older sibling, always making sure to tend to me and help me with the things I needed.
Got your back.
Yes, she definitely had my back, and she helped me build this persona of myself. Always made sure I
Hmm.
was well kept, made sure my hair was done, made sure I had the best outfits, everything pertaining to that. It was like I was her
Hmm.
sister and her child, if that makes
Oh,
sense. Like I
yeah.
was, you know,
Yeah, I
yes,
completely come. Like the sister way, like eldest always act like mother. Like
yeah,
that's the thing. That the eldest
definitely
sister
so.
always act like mother.
And we just had a lot of great times, but the main thing that kept us together was dance all the time.
Oh.
Like we would do different choreographies, and she also,
Hmm.
back before there was, any way to access lyrics, we would actually listen to songs over and over again on the speaker, and just write down the
Hmm.
lyrics so we can memorize the song together and make our own little performance. So there were things
Wow.
like that where she stemmed from my artistry as well. She's helped me with that.
God,
Yes.
God,
So
it seems like I was going to ask about. Thank you for sharing it. It's sad and it's emotional. That's why you have uh, her with you at this moment. That picture also matters for you a lot. You got lots of
yes.
memories. That's the one thing. We have that person with us, the closest one. And being in United States, for me, I keep like I'm doing this from last years. Every time I hear like someone losing someone special from their family, that's why I asked about, like, okay, I was not used to it, but losing someone, and it's very, I guess, very common with people I interview. Most of them have lost someone like very special from their, like, for example, Sherwin lost his wife, and
Yeah.
that whole thing, that I was not ready. And when I came, okay, the people I'm interviewing, like some kind of thing is with them. That's why I asked, like, hey, tell me about your sister, because sometimes you want to express. Sometimes that's why you get more open, and that's where you discover you, and the special person helps you to do that for you. Losing them
Yes.
is very hard. It's totally difficult. Okay, we got a bit more emotions here, but we'll jump
Definitely.
on. We'll jump on to getting it normal. And now you're going to laugh. If you could
Okay.
be any animal, if you could be any animal, which one would you choose and why?
Okay. I actually always describe myself as a chameleon. Hands down.
What's
I was actually thinking of this question. So a chameleon's like a tiny reptilian animal,
Oh, okay,
and
okay, okay.
when they cling on to any surface, they become
They
that
change
color.
color.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Okay, I
Yes,
got
and
it. I
that
got it.
is their defense mechanism. That is their way of
Mm-hmm.
hiding from their predators. So
Oh, yeah, I
me,
know.
I feel like I tend to that because I relate to that animal specifically because no matter where I am in any circumstance, in
Mm-hmm.
any part of the art,
Mm-hmm.
as we stated earlier, I cling on to it fast. I get comfortable and I
You
try to
adapt.
find ways to adapt to it. Exactly.
Yeah,
So hands
got it.
down, chameleon.
Chameleon. So yeah,
Yeah.
here's one more thing to add on that part of being chameleon.
Mhm.
Chameleon is always says like the one who changes sides. For example, it's also seen in that way, like, for example, don't take it seriously, first of all. Okay. But it's also seen as a side where, this is how I see chameleon. Like, I've heard, like, I know that name, but in our part, is the one who leaves the side immediately by getting someone better. Like, for example, one who betrays trust, getting, for example, bribery.
Yeah.
Someone giving you were good with that person, someone gave you $100, you change sides. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I can see
that's
that
the
too.
one part. Yeah, that's the one part. You just completely switched up. Hey, what happened? What you were good with me,
Where were you?
$100, and you
Yeah,
just,
where
yeah,
did you
yeah,
go?
you sold me out. That, that's the one part. This is how that, like, that's a complete story here. Like, we
Yeah.
have a proper moral story here of being a chameleon, but your
Yeah.
point of view is completely different. You see
Mhm.
it as adapting to the situation, adapting to that particular condition, and then changing and being that. So that's new point of view I heard. Great.
Yeah.
You changed my whole point of view. I guess I changed yours.
Yes, a little, just a little.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Uh, if okay, I guess we covered a lot of parts.
Mhm,
What's the work schedule for you? Because I guess we managed 15, 15, 20 days back, uh,
mhm.
and you were completely busy. You were there with me when I messaged you at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Uh, and you were there available. And you said, okay, I'll see
Mhm.
out what's thing. So,
Yes.
doing all these things, how do you maintain work-life balance? So, for example, do you do yoga, meditation, or just be with yourself? How is the work schedule planned for you? How do you maintain the work-life balance at this moment?
Oh, I spend a lot of time I'm a huge nostalgia person, so I like bringing up things from my childhood. So when I have some me time, I just spend time looking at old shows I used to watch just to make myself laugh and bring like relieve tension. It's been a great thing for me just going back to old Disney Channel shows or PBS Kids, like something older, just to, take my mind and give it a rest for a minute. Either that or I'll just play a nice song that I enjoy, like a comfort song, and I take some inspiration from that and write a new poem or new song
Wow.
lyrics. Just something that,
Mm-hmm.
helps me,
Yeah,
benefits me, but
calms
also
yourself
relaxes
down.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You see, like going back to those nostalgic moments, you see that, like, watching Friends or any kind of a comedic series or something that you are very specially attached to. That's your go to point. Hey, relax. I just want to relax. So that's how you relax your nerves down. You
Mhm.
change your mind. That's where you. Is there any anxiety you go through? Any anxiety or any
It's
high?
actually calmed down a lot. I had a lot of
Okay.
anxiety during the pandemic and
Okay.
a lot of anxiety during my California years, being in the
Mm-hmm.
academy, just because it
Okay.
was a big change so fast at such
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
different point in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely worked through that, and now I've realized that there are ways to cope and help with it. One being tapping into my nostalgic feelings more, just to remind me, like,
Mm-hmm.
you can still be a kid on your own,
Yeah.
just you can have those moments where you could be silly and
Uh,
everything doesn't have to be serious.
mhm,
So, yeah.
mhm. So I guess the shift was the period where you were feeling more anxious
Oh,
and
definitely.
you started, coping up with it. You started
Mm,
adjusting it. Okay, okay. So yeah, I just was curious about anxiety because actors go through a lot of anxiety, even being on the stage. That 1 minute before, being
mhm.
on the set, that the moment the director goes on, hey, action. That's where
Yeah, it
we can
changes.
hit that. Like it is very, it's waiting for us. It's waiting. Hey, I'm waiting for you. It's
Yeah.
that point. And that's the real struggle as an artist.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
where lots of artists go through heart attacks. Lots of artists go through panic attacks. The whole
Definitely.
rush and all those things that
Mhm.
goes to, so I get that's where as an artist you can focus on that part also. When
Yes.
once you control it, you can perform more better. You can just
Mhm.
relax, and that's the whole practice. You will see in coming years as you work
Mhm.
on more projects. Once you have control on it, you will like be the same one as you were a kid. The 6 year
Yeah.
old dancing on the songs. That's
Yes.
yeah. Great, great. So yeah, now we jump on to the final part of this interview where I want you being a 6 year old to deciding you want to be an artist, then you changing, taking 2 year trainings properly from an academy, and
Mhm.
then trying out, feeling, then getting into it, and then started getting good parts in movies, films, theater, plays, doing every single day. The artist journey is like every single day. It doesn't end with the project. The
Right.
project ends, but we stay as an artist and we have to find something then to rely on. So that
Exactly.
whole journey keeps on going every single day. It doesn't end. We have to do something, or we don't feel comfortable, because
Yes.
that's what real artist is. We don't feel
Mhm.
comfortable just by sitting down. I don't have work. We have to. That's where the real struggle is. So
Right.
you got lots of projects which are successful. You loved it. You enjoyed it as an artist, and you are performing it in a very good level. Like you're performing it on
Yes.
a very good level,
Mhm.
and you're loving a part, but you're just starting out. What advice you'd like to give to someone who's just aspiring in the school, in the college phase, or who's just listening to us at this moment? What advice you'd like to share from your career till this moment, to ones who are looking to be someone like you, getting projects, doing it, being happy in the place of working? What advice you'd like to share?
I'd like to say to not give up and don't compare yourself to anyone else. I've had faults of that so many times. Everyone has their own path, everyone has their own journey, and even if it takes you 50 years, you will get there if you keep being determined and put your mind to it. Because I know even still, as much work as I've had, I'm still working and I'm still maintaining, and my goals just keep growing. That's another thing. Even if you feel like you've accomplished so much, keep going and make a new goal
Yeah,
because you'll never be finished working if you give yourself the mindset and the time to know that you can go further than you are. So, definitely just keep that mindset of everyone's paths are different.
yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And one thing I'd like to know is, any advice you have, or any tip, or anything that you'd like to add on to the maintaining the financial balance at the same time. Any tips or any advice you would like to share with any young ones who are listening or just starting out who are listening? How can they
Uh,
maintain the financial things?
Definitely save. It sounds easier said than done, but
Yeah.
save, but invest in what you need to invest in. And those
Mm-hmm.
include Backstage, Actors Access, Casting Networks, all of those apps that help you get work. That's
Mm-hmm.
something to invest in no matter what. Even if I heard there's like ones that are really cheap and there's ones that are really expensive, but you know
Yeah.
what you're capable of and what you're willing to do. And
Mm-hmm.
what you put in, you will receive. So if you put in the money to subscribe or add to this, you will get the money back in due time. It may take a minute, but you'll financially be stable eventually. It comes. I'm still working on it. So definitely
Okay.
that's the
Awesome.
advice I'll
Awesome.
give. Save, but
Yeah.
invest in what you need to. Yeah.
Thank you for that advice. I was
Sure.
looking for something like that.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you, because you are just starting out. You did good amount of movies, but for you, it's just starting phase.
Mhm.
And I was curious about any advice you like, where people can get from you. Hey, how she manage the financials of her, invest. Where should they invest, or how should
Mhm.
they earn as an actor, even if they don't get from any film set or any projects, or it may take time of 3-4 months, to
It
get that check
does.
passed on. So
Mhm.
how, if anyone is looking for it, yeah, you will, the way she said, like, invest where it is needed, save
Mhm.
as much as you can, and try to find out projects where they are actually not the acting part, but some gigs where you are just prepared for what you are. As an
Yeah.
artist, you can sell your skill, and then you can just maintain that part. So you can not pull everything at all in the early phase of your career.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that whole pressure of getting money from the same time getting value as an artist
That
or
gets
credit as an
stressful.
artist.
Mhm.
Yep, that gets very stressful. That is very hard to survive in as an artist. Once you
Yeah.
looking for credits and money initially, it gets very stressful. So that's one thing
Exactly.
I was looking to know from you. And yeah, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
yeah. I'm just trying to know Khalila, right?
Yes, Kalila. Mhm.
Khalila. Okay, thank you, Khalila Day, for being
You're
on the show.
welcome.
Uh, the easier the way to knowing you, the harder it was to learning your name. To it
It
was very
happens.
hard
It
for,
happens to a lot of
yeah.
people.
It was very hard for me to remember. I don't want to mess it up, because we love our name, and when
Of
someone
course.
pronounce our name badly, we get mad. That's why
Mhm.
I didn't get to your name all the time. I just jumped on questions, because once, hey, he's not taking my name right. I'm
Mhm.
so that may
I
be the case.
appreciate it
But
for you
yeah,
trying.
thank you, Khalil Day, for
You're
being on the
welcome.
show. It was very great knowing you. You are really energetic artist. You got all those things that a professional need to be in the game of an artist to perform at a pro level. In the mainstream industry, the attitude that you have, the things that you have with you, will help you to perform in the mainstream media, and you will get there very soon. The
Thank
projects
you.
that you are doing, the pace that you are in, and the energy that you have at this moment, and the attitude that you have for you know uh, how you take failures and how you deal with them, that's going to put you on to the next level in coming years if you go with the same pace and in more, and you build more patience and you control your anxiety. It was great knowing you, how you deal with those whole things, and how you shared and how you talked and how you told me everything. So it was great journey, and I am really happy that Sherwin connected us. And
Yes, me
that's
too.
it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sherwin, first of
Yes.
all.
Thank you,
And
Sherman.
first is done, and people are going to check the whole thing. Just go and check now, the story is there available. So once you tap on it, you can listen to it. Also, all the social media link of Khalilah Day is mentioned below, so you can just go and check the description and connect with Khalilah Day. And
Yes.
yes, the
Yep.
last thing of this whole interview is, make sure you go and check out the description. I have linked all the stories from all different genres, so you can just download them and listen them as per your time. You don't have to listen at this moment, but you can download them. And when we are traveling, sleeping, or going on a long walk, you can listen them and enjoy. I am Ajay Tambe, and now I am signing off.